everyone, my name is Miss Danielle and I'm so glad you joined me for today's program. Today we are going to be painting our own ceramic flower vases and then making tissue paper flowers. The first thing we're going to do though is to paint our vase because we need time for it to dry before we can put our tissue paper flowers into it. So, you will see in your kit that you have been given a vase. Looks just like this. And there is a cup of paint also in your kit. You're going to use that paint and paint your vase. You can paint it however you want. You could do the whole thing one solid color like this. Just paint the whole thing on the outside, or you could paint a design if you wanted to. This one has 2 butterflies on it. It is completely up to you how you want to paint it. This is your chance to be creative and do it however you would like to do it. All right, so what you're going to do is in a couple seconds, you're going to pause this video so that you can paint your vase. There is a paper plate inside your kit. That is to put your vase on while you paint it so you don't get anything around it dirty, okay? And then when you're done painting it, you're going to set the vase aside so that it can dry. But make sure it's somewhere that's out of reach and not able to be knocked over by your elbow or anything while you make the flower. All right, so pause this video, paint your vase, and then when you're done and it's set aside, come back and we will make the tissue paper flowers. Okay. So now that our painting is done and we've set it aside, we are going to be making our tissue paper flowers. So you'll notice you've been given a bunch of tissue paper. Okay? There is enough tissue paper and also 2 pipe cleaners. But there is enough tissue paper and pipe cleaners here to make 2 flowers. So the first thing you're going to do is count out 6 sheets of paper. You can take any 6 you want in any color combination that you want. This is totally up to you how you want to do it. Just make sure that you have 6 pieces of tissue paper. So I picked green, pink, and purple, and I have 2 sheets of each. So what I'm going to do is take them and hold them like this. And then I'm going to lay them flat on my table. Because what I want to do is, starting from the bottom, you are going to fold the tissue paper over like this. All right? And then you're going to flip it over. And then you're going to fold the other way so that you create a little V shape like that with your tissue paper. And then we're going to continue for the whole length of the tissue paper. So you're just going to fold it on that side and then fold it the other way. All right, so we're going to continue that for the whole length of the tissue paper. If you need a little more time to work on this, that's okay. Then just pause the video and come back when you are done. All right, so this is what it should look like when you are done. Now, you will need to ask an adult in your house if you need help with this next part, but we need to cut the corners off so that they're a little more rounded like a flower is. All right, so both sides need the corners cut a little bit. So what you're just gonna do is, it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be the same, it could be a little off. That's okay, because every flower is different. So you're just going to cut a little bit, whoop, just like that. Okay, and then we're gonna do the other side just like that. All right, so now it looks like this. So for this next part, we're going to need our pipe cleaner. And what we're going to do is, with our tissue paper flat on our table, you're going to place the pipe cleaner in the middle of the tissue paper underneath. I'm going to hold it up so you can see it. So it looks like that. Okay? We have a short tail on top and a long tail on bottom. Now, you're going to fold the top of the pipe cleaner over so it looks like this. But we need it to be a little more secure. So you're going to take this little tail and you're going to wrap it around the big tail. So that when you're done, that's how it looks. For this next step, you're going to gently take each side of your tissue paper and just fan it out, just a little bit like that. It's not going to stay, it's going to bounce back. That's okay, because you'll see that as we keep going, it'll spread out a little bit. All right, but just start it off. Just spread it out a little bit, and that'll be more helpful for you. Now, on each side, we're going to start pulling the tissue paper up, one sheet at a time. Now remember, be very gentle with this part because we don't want the tissue paper to rip. But if it does, that is okay. The first few times I did this, I ripped a few sheets of tissue paper, and it's not a problem because it'll get hidden inside the flower and you won't even notice that you ripped one, okay? So you're going to take the top sheet on one side and you're just going to start pulling it up. Just like that. All right, sometimes it's helpful to hold these while you pull the top sheet up. If it's easier to hold it in the middle while you pull it, whatever works for you is fine. All right, so this doesn't look perfect, but we're going to keep going, and you're going to pull every sheet up. All right, gently, remember, very gently so we don't rip. But again, it's okay if it rips, because it can be hidden inside the flower, and you'll see how. All right, so now I'm on my pink color, and I'm just going to keep pulling the pink tissue paper up. It gets a little tricky as you get towards the bottom layers of tissue paper because there's not a lot to hold on to anymore. But just do your best. If you need someone in your house to hold it for you, then ask someone to help you out for a few seconds while you pull it up. All right, so we're just going to keep pulling it up. And then this last layer, as you can see, I'm on the last one, you're just going to flip it up. Because there's nothing really to pull it off of, okay? So, this is 1/2 of my flower. Now I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. And you're just going to keep on pulling up the tissue paper one sheet at a time. Remember to do it very gently, but if you need help, ask someone for help that's in your house right now. All right, and then we just keep pulling and keep pulling. Pull it up towards the center. And then remember, as you get towards these bottom ones, they might be a little more difficult to pull, but that's okay. As long as we separate them from each other, that's all we need. All right, so now you could just kind of bunch it up together just like that, and there's your flower. Now, everyone's flowers are going to look different depending on the color combinations they use. This is what I just made with you, but this is the one that I made earlier today. So it can look all different, and that's okay because that is flowers in nature. All don't look the same either. And now, since we're done with our flower, remember, you do have enough materials left, tissue paper and a pipe cleaner, that you can make a second flower. So if you want to make your second flower right now, you can rewind this video back to when I started talking about this, how to do this flower, and you can watch it over again to help you make your second one. And then when you're done, we can put them, as long as your vase is dry. Remember, make sure you check it before you put the flowers in it to make sure it's dry. But if it is, we can put one. If we just wanted to put one, we could just put one. if you wanted to put 2, you could do that as well. See? You could put 2. Now you might want to, the pipe cleaner might be a little bit long, so you could just fold it up so that it fits inside the vase. That's fine, because it'll stay in there just like that once you fold it. All right, and that is all for today. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you had a lot of fun making these beautiful tissue paper flowers and vases, and I hope to see you real soon. Bye.